friends, coming back at you with another lesson here. This is Mr. McCarthy, and today we have got a bit of a doozy, but we can hold it together. I firmly believe that, as the puppy says, you got this. Today we're going to be dividing by two-digit numbers, and your goal is to be able to divide a 2, 3, or 4-digit number by a 2-digit number. All right. All right, let's carry on. Our vocabulary today is remainder. A remainder is what's left over after you have after you've done some dividing. But you know that already. So we're going to use a little word trick to help us today. Does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers? Or as I like to say it sometimes, does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers, dude? Because that is to help you to remember the main steps in long division, which are divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. Let's get to the next page, and I'm going to show you what this looks like in action, unless Mr. Mathematics is waiting for us. Why don't you take a moment and study this? Hit pause if you need to, but this shows all the steps pretty clearly. All right, did you get a good look at that? When you're dividing by a single-digit number, which you've done before, that's the process you go through. When you move up to doing a double-digit number, or you're dividing by a two-digit number, rather, it's the exact same process, except now we've got to lean a little bit on our estimation skills to get it done. All right, take a look at this. Long division. I'm not sure if this is Math Antics or Khan Academy, but it'll help. Pause me, click on this video, and come back when you're ready. All right, did you get all that? Was it just me, or was that accent just absolutely charming? I thought it was captivating. It really kept me engaged, and I hope it did the same for you. All right, let's move on to some practice or some explanations. Now, when you're dividing by tens, I really like doing method 1. And I've talked about that before, that trick of eliminating a 0 in each one, and you can do 18 divided by 2 is 9, or you could actually do method 2 and do all of the long division. All right, take a look at this, read it, pause it if you need to. Oh, I like this hint right here. It says use method 2 and the dividend cannot be exactly divided by the divisor. For example, for 180, and this should be divided by, that looks like a little misprint there, but for 180 divided by 40, dropping the zeros gives an incorrect remainder, because if you do 18 divided by 4, you get 4, remainder 2, which is incorrect. All right, so pay attention on those. It's actually remainder 20. All right, why don't you work your way through those? I'm going to pause and do the same thing, and we'll, oh, how silly of me. We'll pause and we'll come back and compare answers. Go. All right, if you take a look at those first two, we were able to do them in our heads. Again, if you have a 0 in each, you can cross out 1 0 in each, but I still had to keep these. Pardon me. And then on this one, I did 40 divided by 5 to get the 8. And I still had to account for that 0 there, which is how it ended up in my quotient. Now to do this guy, 90 can't go into 5, 90 can't go into 52, 90 can go into 520. And I used some estimation to figure out how many times 9 goes into 52, which should be 5. So 5 times 9 is 450. So I'm doing divide, multiply. Now I'm going to subtract. 520 minus 450 is 70. Then I'm going to check. That's a C. Trust me. Is my 70 smaller than my 90? Yes, it is. Then I'm going to bring down the 0, and I'm going to go back and do it all over again. How many 90s go into 700? Took longer than it should have. 7 times 9 is 63 with a 0 on it. It's 630, and my remainder is 70. My answer ends up being 57. Remainder 70. Hot diggity dog. Oh, pardon me, I'm going to cough again. So imperfect today. There, much better. Let's clear the screen. Let's move on to the next page. Oh, she looks very thoughtful, but I would trust her. And he looks very confident. I would also trust him. Okay, so this is giving you the steps for dividing a two-digit number by a two-digit number. Read it, Pause me if you need to do that, and then you can move on. All right, before we go, look at this first attempt up here. They tried a 4, and hey now, when they got to the check step, this 23 was not smaller than 15, so then you got to up it, and you do 5. So then you do 15 goes in 83 5 times. 5, multiply 5 times 15 is 75. Subtract 83 minus 75 is 8. Check. 8 smaller than 15, and there's nothing to bring down anymore, so you were done. Oh, the quotient is 5, the remainder is 8, which is under my slide menu. Same thing here. They ended up with a number that was too big, so you got to really be thoughtful. And they estimated too. They said, you know what, this is about 20, this is about 80, so that's going to go in 4 times. But when you're estimating, sometimes it's not going to be perfect, and 4 times 23 is going to be 92, bigger than 88, so your answer has to be 3. 23 goes in 88 3 times. 3 times 23 is 69. Subtract, you get 19. Your answer ends up being 3, remainder 19. But you got all that because you watched that wonderful video with the charming man telling you how to do long division. Okay. Let's take a look. I'll walk you through this page here because I need something to do, you know, instead of just talking. So in this case, I'm going to round to 16 to 20, and I'm going to estimate my quotient being 3 times 20 is 60. So 16 is going to go into 65 about 3 times. 3 times 16 is 48. And oh, look what they did to me. Well, that was tricky. 17. I divided, multiplied, subtracted. Now I got to check, is 17 smaller than 16? No. So my estimated quotient is too small, and I now need to try 4. Tricky, tricky. 4 times 16 is 64. Subtract, I get a 1. 4, remainder 1. Math, friends. I feel deceived. Alrighty, moving on. Oh, Mr. McCarthy, clear your screen. Clear your mind. Okay. Oh, look at this. There's a little script here. Let me pause and get my... So, yeah, I could talk my way through this, but someone was kind enough to put a pretty good description here, and I'll just kind of fill it in as you read. Oh, 3 times 30 is about 90, so 32 is going to go to 94 3 times, but it's not going to, they deceived me again, and I'm going to get a -2, which, no, this just, no. So I'll try 2. 2 times 32 is 64, my remainder is 30. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful learning opportunity it's provided us. All right, next slide. Ooh, must be late. I'm getting a little bit punchy here. All right, pause me, solve. I'll solve and show my work, and we'll compare in a moment. All right, friends, how do we do? Not too shabby. There's one little trick here. Not a trick, but I don't know if you're, you know, you should maybe be able to do this since you have done the long multiplication already. In this case, when I put my 4 right here, you know, my first instinct is to sit and do this, and like that, and do that. But I can do the same thing with the numbers split up, with the 17 here and the 4 here. 4 times 7 is 28, carry the 2, 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Boop. So, just a thought to try it sometime. Super fun. Very handy in long division. Okay, same idea here. We're dividing a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number. Sometimes you just have to get more digits to help. The way I always look at this is, can 2 divide by 32? No, he's much too small, so he calls for help. So 2 and 3 get together and make 23. Can you divide 23 by 32? Oh, absolutely not. Still too small. So then they call their buddy 5 for help. Can 32 go into 235? And yes, it can. 7 times, in fact, and with 11 left over. Okay. The way you're estimating this, though, is what's important. Rounding 32 to 30. So then I'm doing 30 times 7 equals 210, or 30 times 8 is 240. We're going to go for 7 and see where it gets us. Okay, so that's the idea there. You want to do that estimation. Estimation is huge. Estimation is probably the hardest part of long division. But you're like, oh, Mr. McCarthy, it's just estimation. Oh, I know it's just estimation, but you got to be mindful of it. Okay, next slide. All right. This young man looks very thoughtful and helpful. Why don't you solve this problem? I'll do the same. Hit pause and we'll compare our work in a moment. Hey, did anybody do this? I clearly did. Check out the frowny face. Pause and study it and you'll see what's wrong. The 97's too big. It should be less than 75. So if this gave me something that's too big, wait, no. If this number here is too big, then I didn't take out enough 75s and I need to change the 7. Whoa! 2 and 8. So why don't you do that and we'll redo it together. Unless you got it right the first time, then good for you. Do your superior dance while I fix this. All right. Does that look better? I thought so. So yeah, we should have gone with 8. I think this math book is deliberately making us work more in order to force us to learn. I don't know how I feel about being deceived into learning, but I guess I got to roll with it. All right, next page. All right, you solve, I pause, I solve, you pause. You know the routine. Hit the button. We'll reconnect in a moment. All right, take a look at those. Hopefully your stuff looks all the same. You can see I've done my little multiplication trick. I carried the 3. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 6 times 9 is 54. Carry the 5. 8 times 2, 6. Oh, wait. You go back. Did I goof that one up? 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1. No, I got that right. Hoofda. Anybody see what I did up here? If you look real carefully, you can see I tried a 9 first and then drew over it. Wah, wah. All right, let's carry on. This involves now a repeating step. If you remember, the initial instructions were divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring, down, and then repeat. Take a look. Hopefully you learned all of this in the video as well. Okay. 23 can't go into 7, but 23 can go into 76. Remember what I said about trying to find its buddy to do some dividing. Alrighty. We got this. Alright. Pause. Do it. I'll do the same. Yeah, I lied. I'm going to talk you through this one because I think I should. But then we'll do the pause bit in the next one. 1 times 21 is 21. 21 times 110. Oh, so this actually, if this is your ones, tens, hundreds place, this is actually 10 times 21, and this represents 210, but just we don't write it like that. Okay, so there's 10 tens left. Then I like to do that. Bring down the 7. How many 21s in 107? 5. 5 times 21 is 105. With 2 left over. You got 15. Remainder 2. Okay. The quotient is 15, the remainder's 2. Oh, clear screen. Next. Holy smokes, there's a lot of slides in this one, making my head spin. All right, pause, go, solve. Let's cross our fingers. Hope this is the last one. Whew. There's some doozies there. But take a look, 13 remainder 10, 19 remainder 5, 12 remainder 33, and 31 remainder 26. Hopefully we're kind of getting a feel for this. It's can make your head spin, but if you remember your steps, divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down, does McDonald's sell cheese, burgers, dude, repeat. It's a beautiful arrow. You do that, you can do this. Throw a shout out to your teachers if you have any questions, or if the crazy guy from the videos wasn't quite explaining it the way you wanted to. I tried though. All right, friends, we got lucky. That was the last one. This could be your homework, but it might not be. As always, verify with your instructor, and I will see you tomorrow for the next part of this lesson. Woo! Oh, I'm tired.